Round number 6 at Chicagoland. Rick James, Ryan Pennell in the house. Last year's winner, Matt Seeger with Aiden Norman next to him. They're going to kick off this 6th round of competition in Season 12 of TNT. Norman with control of the field, trying to go with 3 wins in a row. Seeger trying to win his 2nd consecutive race at Chicagoland. We are green. Matt Seeger takes off to an early lead on the inside of turn number 3. Ryan Pennell, welcome to Chicagoland. I was going to say Chicagoland. You can see the skyline from Joliet, but it's about 50, what is it? It's a good 35-minute drive, sort of south of Chicago. Anyway, welcome to round 6, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, good to be back, and this is a great racetrack, so looking forward to all the racing tonight and hopefully some strategy as well.
We'll see just what we can accomplish. So far, single file, and for the nerds and for the people that care, there's been an update to these cars. So the draft package has changed. Now, we don't know what that means. We just know these drivers are about to find out. What do you know about this change, and what makes this update any different?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot. I mean, I know they said that they did update the draft package, which is a really good thing because we have struggled a little bit with the drafting tracks. Just the car just didn't draft how it was supposed to. So hopefully that'll fix it for, I know we're going, I think, to Daytona and maybe New Atlanta later in the season. So hopefully that'll fix it and make the racing a little bit better for the drafting tracks.
Midwest Barbecue is in the house, cheering for Seth Wansing in the number 1, the pride of Kansas City in the Budweiser Chevrolet. And we talk about this all the time when you see a special paint scheme, but this right here, even though it doesn't have a big white number 8 on the side, I love the creativity, genuinely. It's still a good-looking car, any way you put it.
100%. Seth always has good paint schemes. I mean, he's that guy, you know. I mean, it does look a little weird. You see the number 1 and you expect what was it, Steve Park that drove that number 1 car. So a little bit different with that scheme, but hey, I like it.
Watson right now holding the 6th position in that Budweiser number 1. And up ahead, the actual number 8 car, Toby Estes, in the Estes Property Care Budweiser machine. Again, another custom paint job, if you will. He finds himself in 5th behind championship hopeful Aaron Edwards. Coming out of turn number 4, Ryan. Aaron Edwards kind of has to get back on the wagon here. It's been a few races since he's won a race. All thanks to the guy that's currently running in 3rd, Aiden Norman. He sits in that 6'2 Soju machine, trying to get around Chuck Sweeting in the 5'7. But it's because Aiden Norman has almost come out of semi-retirement. He's won the last 2 races in TNT, and this is the perfect opportunity for Aaron Edwards to get back into the championship fight. Not that he ever left, because look at the numbers. It's what, 1 point between Noah Belleville and Aaron Edwards coming into this race.
Yeah, it's a tight battle, and TNT, we kind of get used to that. You know, it's really tight points, and it comes down to the last race.
Edwards right now holding on to that 4th position. Toby Estes just behind him. Ethan Winters trying to get on the outside of Seth Wansing. Shout out to Midwest Barbecue. Shout out to Steph, Grandma Jeannie, Mama Vols, everybody that still tunes in week after week. They had a special event too. Ryan, I'm not sure if you saw or not, but I'm sure you heard about it. They made local news, I think, Seth and the crew at Midwest Barbecue.
Kyle Larson was out there, and I did hear about it. You know, Seth's gonna let us know when he meets his idol, Kyle Larson. But yeah, that was really cool to see Seth involved with that, and his dad's business involved with that as well. And kind of cool that a NASCAR driver comes out and sees what Seth does for a living. So pretty cool to connect those two worlds.
It's not every day that Kyle Larson comes to work, is it? That is a pretty sweet deal. Matt Vorndren in the double 8 to the inside of Tom Sears in his beloved Interstate Batteries 18. This is 10th place on the line. You want to talk about a cool paint scheme? Well, a couple of cool paint schemes, but how about mellow yellow? That Matt Vorndren machine, man, it looks good.
Yes, it does. That is a throwback old Kyle Petty scheme. It's weird to see the 88 on it, but that's Matt's number, so yeah, just a really cool paint scheme. I love all these paint schemes in TNT. I mean, it just really just takes you back to the mid 2000s when this car was just, man, it was just different. It was unique. It was fun to watch, and not quite the same anymore, but man, this car is just really cool to watch.
You know what's cool to watch is me trying to mess with the sound mixer and completely screwing everything up here. In the chat, they're saying the 16 looks good out front. Ryan, Matt Seeger's leading by half a second right now over Chuck Sweeting in second, Aiden Norman's in third, Aaron Edwards is in fourth, Toby Estes sitting in the 5th position as they run. I mean, I don't know that someone's ever won a Chicagoland race 2 years in a row. However, and we can jinx him now because he's won a race, Matt Seeger might be the guy to do it.
Very fast at this track, and a lot of the times, you just some of the tracks you're just really good at as a driver, and Matthew Seeger obviously very fast every week, but this seems to be one of those tracks where he is just very, very fast, and he's showing that right now, with a half a second lead.
Toby Estes, caution comes out as we're talking about Toby Estes in 5th. And trying to see who fell off the track, if anybody. Thomas Andrews running in 19th, Ryan Lindemann in 20th, and he's missing the front end of that Jordan 51 Chevy. Now he's missing the right front wheel. Well, let's go back and see what happened to car 51. At this point, Ryan Lindemann is still in one singular piece. What's interesting, Ryan, is that I can't, and this is down to my timing and scoring, but I'm not seeing, normally I have an alert that comes up and says so-and-so driver fell off the track, not this time around. But any idea what happened to Ryan Lindemann?
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I have my camera kind of focused on the crasher, and it didn't jump to him, so I don't know. That's kind of strange.
All right, one more look, because I have to know. There it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Let's go back. All right. Finally, we get this. Anyway, the 51 just comes up out of turn number 4. Oh, the number 2 of Thomas Andrews gets into the wall. Nowhere for the 51 car to go. Let's go on board with Ryan Lindemann this time as everybody comes down pit lane. With Thomas Andrews. And a couple of cars make contact out of turn number 4. That brings out caution number 1. You know how I said everybody pitted? One guy didn't. Number 1, Seth Wansing in the Budweiser Chevrolet. All right, now it's time to bother this kid and see what he's thinking. Let's see if we can get a word with him. Ryan Pennell and Rick James are in the booth. Seth Wansing, hi, buddy. How are you?
Kind of copy. How are you?
All right. Well, first things first. Car number 1 in first position. Why did you not pit?
Tires are primo, and you need to get all you can out of them. And I don't know if it's really worth taking fuel for my strategy yet. So hang on to them and see if we can at least hold on to some track position and see if we can catch a break here or just keep on the strategy that I'm on. But I mean, we haven't ran enough laps on these tires to justify taking any yet, in my opinion. So maybe they didn't. Maybe they just topped off with fuel, but we'll see.
You got Hawthorne, Florida's Chuck Sweeting lining up to your outside, and last year's Chicagoland winner, Fort Valley, Georgia's Matt Seeger lined up behind you. Ryan Pennell, what does this kid need to do on the restart to keep the 1 car in position 1?
Hit the gas pedal. That's what I would do if I was him.
You heard him. All right, we're going to let Seth get back to work. Yeah, go ahead, Seth.
That's the goal at least. We'll see if it grips up or not. This thing's got a lot of juice under the hood, so we'll see.
Keep the sim rig in one piece. Hopefully, we talk to you at the end of the show. Have fun.
I hope so too.
Ryan, I think he's going to get eaten alive on this restart.
Yeah, it's going to be rough.
Oh man, he's going to have to play really good defense. He's going to have to box out, and he's going to have to give it everything that he's got, and hopefully he doesn't spill the beer on the way to it. Pace car's going to come off of pit road. The Kansas City masterpiece, Seth Wansing in the Budweiser Chevrolet, has Chuck Sweeting to his outside, the dark horse in the brilliant pink machine. Green flag will fly. Great restart by Wansing, and we're racing. Immediately, Matt Seeger to the outside coming out of turn number 2. Seth's got work to do. Grip works on the outside. Car 16 to the lead. Seeger out front. New leader. Ryan, it goes 16 to the front, shot out of a cannon. Seth Wansing still holding on to second.
Yeah, we'll see if those tires hold up for him. I don't think they will, but hey, he learned a lesson. If a caution comes out here pretty soon, come down pit road, get those tires. You need them.
Well, and if a caution comes out relatively soon, he might just be in a more fortunate position if he has tires that are, let's say, 10 laps more fresh than the rest of the field. Of course, they get 4 tire changes total, and they're expected to go 35 to 40 laps on a fuel run. So this will take them to about lap 56. I was talking to Aiden Norman earlier, who finds himself in the second position, and Aiden was telling me that you're going to want to run it dry on that first run, which is about 37, 38 laps. You might have to save a bit if you want to go further than 37 laps on that second run, but the idea was a 2-stop if it goes green. Now that we've run 16 laps, it could be a 1-stop and a really conservative second stint.
Yeah, that's where the strategy really comes into play here, but again, I think Seth's kind of just hoping for a caution at this point. I mean, he's already fallen back to 7th. Just, those tires, I know we only ran 20 laps on them, but it's a huge difference.
And the North Carolinian, by way of Seoul, South Korea, finds himself running in the silver medal spot. Chuck Sweeting holding on to the bronze for now, and championship hopeful Aaron Edwards running in 4th. Talking about the championship, I think the fight might just get blown wide open as Chuck Sweeting hits the wall out of turn number 4. Aaron Edwards will move up into 3rd. Ryan, our points leader, is not here.
Yeah, that's going to be a big hit for Noah Belleville. I mean, obviously, you know, he'll get some drop points of some type if he requests them, but still nothing compared to what he would get if he was out here racing with all these other competitors tonight. So points are going to look a lot different after this race.
As they normally do. But six races in, you expect to see some sort of trends. Noah Belleville towards the front, that's expected, right? He normally runs up there. That's his place. Aaron Edwards, you expect that up there. Guys like Briley Wright. I'm not going to say we don't expect Briley Wright in the money positions. He has plenty of top threes in TNT points history, but he's holding on to really, really good company in Noah Belleville, Aaron Edwards, and Ethan Winters. That doesn't say more for Briley in the sense that Briley's with those guys. It says more for that group that Briley right now is in the top 5 in points. He belongs in that top 5.
Yeah, 100%. Briley's very consistent. I mean, he's always there at the end, takes care of his car. And that's, again, with TNT, that's one of the main things, being consistent. You know, even if you finish 7th or 8th every single week, that's all it takes to be up there in the top in points. If some of the guys around you, you know, are struggling, all it takes is just being consistent. And what a great looking paint scheme too. I mean, that is just beautiful.
We're about to get some really cool screenshots when that number 3 comes up next to that number 1. They eventually will meet. Seth Wansing gets into the wall. Briley Wright will now get almost next to him. And Kevin Feimster in the all-black number 17 Smirnoff Ice car. He gets into turn number 1. Seth Wansing is going to try to take advantage, but he just can't get to his inside. This is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th to include Briley Wright in that number 3. Further back, Thomas Andrews, Elrich George trying to avoid each other off of turn number 2, Ryan.
Yeah, they look like they were trying to wreck each other there, honestly, but again, just two beautiful paint schemes with that number 40 throwback to, what was that, Jamie McMurray, I believe?
Yeah.
Could be wrong there, but
good eye.
Yeah, beautiful paint scheme.
Drip Diecast last night actually did a live auction on Whatnot. I'm not sure if you saw, but I participated in that. I got myself a nice chrome Tony Stewart number 20. He sold last night, what I learned was a Harry Gant paint scheme, if you will, on a NASCAR truck, a diecast, that less than 100 were made, and this thing sold for $57, and everybody's saying that's the deal of the century. But anyway, talking about beautiful paint schemes, one right after the other, you know the drill if you've watched Rick James TV before. In the top left corner where it says Drip Diecast, that is your number 1 online store for all sorts of NASCAR memorabilia. If you love any of the paint schemes that you see here, head to Drip Diecast. The 1, the 3, 2 iconic cars, amazing colors. Drip Diecast has it. Check them out. Back to the racing, Ryan. Seth Wansing and Briley Wright, 10th and 11th.
Yeah, Seth really feeling, you know, the effect of those old tires now. I mean, just really struggling. And keep in mind, I mean, you talked about the fuel. I mean, Seth didn't come down, so he's getting low on fuel here. He's going to have to pit here within probably the next 10 laps.
Definitely within the next 10 laps. He's gone 32 laps on this run right now, and if he's saving fuel, he might be able to make it to lap 40 or 41, but he will be coming in within the next 10. He's in 12th. It's still not the worst position in the world for Seth Wansing. He's off cycle. What could put him on cycle and possibly in a more advantageous position is another quick caution. He's not in a bad spot if the dice rolls his way. However, ultimately, Ryan, it is just that, a dice roll.
Yeah, for sure. And again, if he comes down and pits, and he's more than likely probably going to go a lap down, he's just got to hope and pray that there is no caution and he can cycle back around, he'll be a lot faster than all these other cars out on the racetrack.
Matt Seeger, the fastest guy so far. He's led almost every lap of the 34 that are underway. Aiden Norman is 0.4 of a second behind him, going for 3 consecutive wins, which is not a rarity per se in TNT. Previous champions have done it in their championship seasons, but the last 2 times that a driver has won 3 races in a row, they have gone on to be TNT champion. Keep in mind, Aiden Norman says he's just out here for fun. And I believe him, Ryan, because funny enough, I think he's proved it, winning a bunch can get boring and you just don't want to do it anymore. You want the next thing. Maybe Aiden really is just back for fun and he's going to win a few races and go away. Maybe he's going to stay and try and challenge for the title. This is the really fun part about the will he, won't he of the next few races.
Yeah, and you know, Aiden hadn't been around for a while, and now he's back and, you know, won the last 2 races, and I mean, in a pretty good spot to try and win 3 in a row. As a driver, I'm telling you, that gets the juices flowing a little bit, and you go, hey, wait a minute, I might be able to compete with these guys, so let me try and be here every week. So, I mean, it's good to see Aiden back out on the racetrack for sure.
Kevin Feemster in the 17, Tom Sears in the 18 with Briley Wright in the distance. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th up for discussion. Seth Wanting down to 13th. And at the back, too, we've got more battles. John Honeybrink in the 20. Tommy Withers in the 99. This is 14th place on the line. You want to talk about a cool paint scheme? That green numbered 99. Look at those numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the roundup scheme, old Carl Edwards scheme there. I mean, that's just beautiful. Riding around with the 20 Home Depot. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
The Virginian driver ahead of the Ohio pilot, and the Virginian driver goes high. John Honeybrink will not attack, though. 14th is what Tommy Withers holds on to right now. Jason Alexander, Colin McDonough. Some new colors for the 39. The Nerf machine sits ahead of the 53. South Carolina Gamecocks Ford out of turn number 4. I take a breath, I pause, I stammer, because the 20 of John Honeybrink almost was collected by the 39 and the 53.
Yeah, really good racing. I mean, that just shows, I mean, this is for 15th, 16th, and 17th, and they're out here racing like they're racing for a win. I mean, every position matters.
John Honeybrink into the 20 car, sitting in the 17th position. Matt Seeger, half a second ahead of Aiden Norman. Tight battles throughout the whole race, though, Ryan. Jacob Benneker, Toby Estes, this is 7th place. Briley Wright up behind him. He's carved through this field, Ryan. He's up 11 places from where he started.
Yeah, like I said, Briley's always just so consistent. Always has a really good long-run car. It's just what Briley's known for, and he's showing it right now. Up to 8. Was able to get around Matt and Kevin Feemster, so I'm still kind of just watching Seth. He's falling back to 13th. You know, when will he come down pit road? He's got to be getting low on fuel.
Seth Wanting has gone 41 laps without coming down into the pits. Now, he's been aided by a caution. He can save a couple of more laps, but we'll see. There it is, Ryan. Great call. Curse of the commentator works in our favor. Seth Wanting comes in, and Tommy Withers is also going to come in as well. John Honeybrink also came through. Delta Sport on the horn saying something about that 20 paint scheme on a Ford just doesn't sit right with me. No, it doesn't sit right with me either, but in a way, that's kind of just the beauty of it, man. That's what I love about TNT. Sometimes you'll see something completely left field like this. Whatever. Let it ride, man. I love that. Chuck Sweeting, Ryan, he's going to be overtaken by Ethan Winters. This is 4th place.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting's been doing really good tonight, but this looks like maybe the long run car for that number 57. Just struggling a little bit, but I mean, you expect those Delta Sport drivers. I mean, they're bad fast every week, so they're hard to stay in front of here.
Matt Seeger in the 16 car, he leads this race. Ethan Winters in the cyan-colored number 10 runs in 4th. Aaron Edwards just ahead of him, who has vanished into thin air. There he is. Aaron Edwards runs in 15th in that dark purple number 15. The Power Rangers, as I love to call them. 1st, 3rd, and 4th. Aiden Norman sits between them, and he's almost the, I don't know. What the hell was the bad guy to the Power Rangers, Ryan? I don't remember Power Rangers like that. What you call it?
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know.
The anti-Power Rangers guy is Aiden Norman, sitting in 2nd in the top 4. He's trying to get around Thomas Andrews in the number 2 Drip Ford. Special mention for the folks, again, at Drip Diecast and Collectibles. They keep us going week after week. They're the number 1 store on eBay for NASCAR memorabilia. Check them out. Kevin Feemster in the 17. Matt Vorndren in the 88. This is 9th place as they get close. The Van Buren, Indiana pilot. And another awesome paint scheme. Something about all black cars just look fantastic. Obviously Dale's, obviously this one here. What other all black paint schemes are there?
Oh, puts me on the spot. I don't know. I mean, that's Dale Earnhardt obviously is like number 1.
Dale Jr. ran the tribute to Dale Earnhardt. You know, I have a thing for paint schemes. I really should know this. Somebody in the chat knows more than I do. What other all-black paint schemes are out there that just look really, really good? Besides Dale, besides this 17, what all-black paint schemes are really cool? Ryan Lindemann in the 51. He's trying to get around Tom Sears. Let's go on board with Lindo. Lindemann currently running in 8th, up 9 places from where he started, and he's going to move up to 7th. He's up 10 places from where he started. Matt Vorndren gets around Feemster for now. That puts the double 8 in the top 5. Ryan, it's been, what, 32 laps since they pitted. That green flag window's about to open up in about 3 to 4 laps.
Yeah, and we've already seen Aiden Norman, Toby, obviously Seth, but definitely a few drivers have already come down pit road to try and get a little bit off cycle here. So we'll see how it works out for, especially Aiden. You know, he was up there running 2nd. I think he might have a good idea here. Make up some time, and then we'll see where he comes out after everybody pits.
Yeah, I'd gamble on Aiden Norman, 3-time TNT champion and the guy that's won the last 2 races. That's a very safe bet. Kevin Feemster and Matt Vorndren are both going to come in trying to not get busted for speeding. That's Jason Alexander, who's also going to come in. He fishtails his number 53 Ford. Matt Seeger stays in the lead. Aaron Edwards is 1 second behind him. Ethan Winters in 3rd. The red, purple, and blue Power Rangers atop the podium. Ryan, Tom Sears, Ryan Lindemann still trying to battle for position. Seeger's in. All right, driver, what's the strategy? You're the race leader. You're the hottest guy out there. You've just come in for your first green flag pit stop. What's up? All right, we'll get back to Ryan, and we'll get that strategy here in just a moment. Aaron Edwards is 3/4 of a second ahead of Ethan Winters. Tom Sears behind Lindemann. still with me?
Yep, I got you.
Oh, there we
Sorry.
go. All right, beautiful.
Yep.
No, you're fine, man. All right, talk to me about the strategy here. So Seeger, he was up by a half second and he's trying to beat Aiden Norman, who came down on lap 46. And look at the position now, Ryan. Norman in 8th, Seeger in 9th, 4.9, and now 5+ seconds is the difference.
Yeah, it's just those fresh tires, but you got to keep in mind, again, I know me and you both are not very good at math, but if you can stretch this, I mean, you said earlier, I know I looked at the track facts and what the fuel load was. Some of these people may be trying to stay out and save to just have one more stop, and if that's the case, you can lose as much time as you want to.
To a point, obviously. I see exactly what you mean. So Matt Seeger and Toby Estes now battling for the 9th position. Seeger holding on to it for now. Jacob Renneker comes in, and 5.3 seconds is the gap from Aiden Norman to Matt Seeger. Norman pitting on lap 46, Matt Seeger pitting on lap 51. 5 laps is, I can't do the math. What's 5 times 1.5? 7.5, I think. So 7.5 miles of wear and fuel from Matt Seeger to Aiden Norman. What kind of difference is that going to make?
Well, it's going to be huge, especially if, I mean, it looks like Aaron Edwards and Winters are coming down pit road now too. So that's going to be really close. I don't think they're going to be able to make it, but if you do some extreme saving, look out. And also keep an eye on Tom Sears, Rick. You know he's one of the masterminds of saving fuel. Me and him used to be really good at it when we raced over there on Heat 5. But Tom Sears, look out. If he can make it a couple more laps, he can make it on one stop, I think.
And almost making contact with Colin McDonough off of turn number 4. Tom Sears sits out front. And technically, this is the race for the lead. While almost everybody else has come down into the pits, you know he does roll the dice, but he really can save fuel, and he can stretch it probably another 2 or 3 laps, I would gamble. McDonough to his inside. They drag race for the lead into turn number 3, and trying to hold on to it as best they can. Colin McDonough's on his way in, though. A very conservative approach to the pits. Tom Sears takes it the hard way. Hopefully he doesn't speed on the way in. Doesn't look like any of them did. What a pit attack by Tom Sears, though. That it works out for him. Ryan, Aiden Norman will be your new leader.
Yeah, and that's just because he came down pit road so soon. I mean, a different strategy. Obviously, Seeger's going to be a little bit quicker than him. He's probably going to reel him in, but we'll have to see what the... oh, yeah, it's looking like, what, 5 seconds, Rick? I mean, that's huge.
4.8 seconds as they come across the line. Last time around, Matt Seeger did a 30.6. Aiden Norman did a 30.89 over the last 5 laps. Their gap. Matt Seeger has been chipping in to Aiden Norman's time. This time by. Yep, Seeger's quicker. So Seeger's quicker 4 out of the last 5 laps. So while the gap right now is 4.7 seconds, Matt Seeger has a chance to slowly reel in Aiden Norman, but he also can't push it, Ryan, because he does have those 5 laps of wear advantage over car 62.
Yeah, and that'll just transition. I mean, as Aiden keeps running, his tires will get more and more worn out. Seeger's going to catch him, but still a 4.8 second lead. That's pretty big.
We'll see just how far it extends. Seth Wansing, he finds himself running in the 8th position behind Briley Wright. These two at it again. Ethan Winters in 6th, Aaron Edwards in 5th. The top 4 all exactly where they started. Four Chevrolets in the top 4, one Lonely Ford in that top 5. Ryan, we are more than halfway through this race. Who do you like? Besides the obvious, I'll tell you what, let's exclude Aiden Norman. Let's exclude Matt Seeger. Who do you like so far?
I'll tell you what, Chuck Sweeting, he's pretty fast today. I mean, we'll see what the strategy, turns up for him, but I'll tell you what, that number 57 is bad fast. If I couldn't pick Aiden or Seeger, I would have to go with Chuck Sweeting.
The literal next guy, but who can blame you? Honestly, nobody can blame you because he's running in third. Nothing you said is a lie. There's a reason he sits in third. I'd pick him too, honestly. I like Tommy Withers. He's up to 10th right now. He's up 6 places from where he started. He's out front ahead of Kevin Feemster right now. He and Matt Vorndren, all in good company, putting on a great show. He has won in TNT before, even though it was 8 seasons ago and it was at Daytona, but hell, let's really roll the dice. I like Tommy Withers. Well, and now he's in 12th. You know what? Tommy Withers is okay.
Yeah, maybe don't pick him.
No, you know what? Let's go with Aaron Edwards. He just passed Toby Estes for 4th. So Edwards is up 2 places from where he started. Toby, he's now chilling in the 5th position. Ethan Winters behind him. Let's go back to the 17 and the 88, though. They're back at it. 64 of 110 underway, Ryan.
Yeah, honestly, Feemster and Matt have been together, I think, this entire race. So they've been really putting on an awesome battle. Again, this is for 10th and 11th, but they're battling like they're trying to win this race. So just a lot of fun to watch this racing.
A whole lot of fun. And hopefully they keep it in one piece here. We have, what, 40? Dude, I can't do math here. Do we have 40 to go? No, 45 laps to go. We have about 45 laps to go. Great show so far. Aiden Norman's lead is dwindling, though. He's down to 4 seconds ahead of Matt Seeger. And I don't know if Aiden's saving or Seeger's pushing, but we're going to find out by the next time the pit cycle comes around.
Yeah, that's what's going to be interesting because we know Aiden came in early. I don't think he can make it. I don't think anyone can make it other than maybe Tom Sears, Colin McDonough. They stayed out the latest. They might have a shot at it, but I think everyone else is definitely going to have to pit another time. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer, but I mean, Aiden's going to come down sooner than Seeger and Sweeting, and it might just extend that lead even more if we do get to another round of green flag pit stops.
So Norman pitted on 46. If he were to run the gas tank dry, that's going to put him to, let's say 83, maybe lap 84. So we're still a good 15 laps away, 16 laps away from that. However, he can pit from there, or he can short pit. Let's say he wants to run the gas tank dry, assuming we don't have any green-white checkers. He's going to want to pit on lap 73, 74. So we could see him fill it full of fuel and try to go to the end on these tires. But we saw what happened to Seth Wansing on old tires. Do you go for the fuel or do you go for the rubber?
Yeah, I think you go for the tires. I mean, and if I've been kind of watching the gap, and it's kind of stabilized. I mean, it's sitting right there at the 4.2. I mean, Aiden is in the perfect spot now. I mean, even if he does come down early, you're going to be even that much faster than Seeger and Edwards and Sweeting, and you have almost a 4-second lead. I mean, I would have loved to watch Aiden Norman's entry and exit on pit road. I bet it was absolutely flawless.
I mean, we can.
Let's do it.
I give you a second because I gotta scroll through a bunch of stuff here. Because I am the world-class producer that I am, I have no idea what I did, but I no longer can see the event where drivers fall off the racetrack. So I gotta get that back. But hey, at least we're not skipping and moving at 15 frames a second or whatever that was, because that was just garbage. Let's have a look. This is Aiden Norman on lap 47. Nope, this is him coming into the stall. Here we go. Let's try this. There we go. Lap 46. Aiden Norman wanting to come into the pits. Look at him, and he's coming in at the speed of light. Obviously, he does not speed, Ryan, but you can tell he's moving at a really good clip. Like, just, he is on the button, and of course, his exit is flawless. Let's go on board and just have a listen. That's just really, really good. But that makes so much of a difference because he really is attacking pit lane with all the skill that he can muster, and it made a 4.5-second difference. Speaking of short pit, Ryan, look who's coming in. Matt Seeger coming in on lap 73. He's going to try and run it dry. He's gambling that there will be no green-white checker at the end of this race, or maybe he'll have enough for one.
Yeah, I think he knew he had to come down because he was losing time to Aiden. The tires had kind of evened out. This is his only shot. I mean, honestly, at this point, I think you'll see probably Aaron Edwards and Winters. They'll probably come in here within the next couple laps, but I think this race is Aiden Norman's to lose at this point. He's in a great spot.
And of course, the great equalizer, the caution. At the beginning of the run, Aiden Norman was nowhere to be found towards the front. Matt Seeger had all the speed on fresh tires and a fresh car. He has this again. Matt Seeger, he's going to rejoin. Where is that 16? He's in the 18th position as well. So Matt Seeger finds himself a lap off the pace in 18th. John Honeybrink is the next driver up 5 seconds ahead, and Seeger's about to eat Honeybrink alive. This is where he has to go. This is the time that he has to make up. At the same time, if you take a look at Aiden Norman's pit lane time, pit lane time, 40.6 seconds for Aiden Norman, 40.83 seconds for Matt Seeger. So we know that Aiden Norman is a genius at attacking pit lane because he went from half a second down to 5 seconds up by the time they swapped. That also can get Seeger if he doesn't attack pit lane and come off correctly.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, keep in the back of your mind, again, I don't know if it's going to work out for Tom Sears and Colin McDonough, but I've been kind of watching Tom Sears. He's saving. He is saving hard, and look out, because if everyone else has to pit and Tom Sears and Colin McDonough can make it to the end, we might have a whole different strategy here.
Hawthorne, Florida's Chuck Sweeting decides to come in, and Kansas City's Seth Wansing is also on the way into the pits. Midwest Barbecue in the house says typical 1.5 mile racing. Seth Wansing's going to come down in the number 1 Budweiser machine, and he's going to bring it down to a halt. Aiden Norman continues to be your race leader. He's got a 3.8 second advantage to Aaron Edwards. Ethan Winters is 6/10 behind that. Ryan, there's a lot of attrition. Drivers are really giving each other space.
Yeah, it's been a great race. I mean, we really only had the one issue this tonight, but everyone else, you know, I mean, they've been racing really clean, which is what you expect from TNT. I mean, you know, not anything surprising after 12 or 11 seasons. I mean, this is what we expect week in and week out. So just great racing. And again, Aiden Norman, I think, is in the best seat, but I am still curious. Can that 18 of Tom Sears and the 39 of Colin McDonough, can they make it to the end? And if so, how slow are they going to be?
Well, obviously they have to be fast enough to where it's going to make a difference. You know, they could be slow enough to save fuel, but not if it's going to cost them any sort of race-winning speed. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a very fine line. It's something that I haven't really figured out on iRacing yet, but Tom Sears seems to be one of the best when it comes to fuel saving. So Finster in the wall a little bit there.
He's got to keep that together. Aiden Norman is in. There is Aiden Norman, South Korean driver coming in. He sits in third now after giving up the lead. Aaron Edwards is your new leader. Ethan Winters is in second, and Matt Vorndren will take over that third position. So now how do you play it? Do you run it dry, Aaron Edwards, or do you come into the pits? Ryan, your call.
I think at this point they're just hoping for a caution, because at this point you have to. I mean, you're on a different strategy, and it looks like they're staying out another lap. So you know Aiden Norman, he's going to have fresher tires. He's going to be making up time on both of these drivers. So they're just hoping and praying for that caution.
Aaron Edwards with a 0.6 of a second advantage. Elrich George trading places with Tom Sears. The number 40 Haviland Ford is in the wall, and the Nassau pilot tries to keep it in one piece. Tom Sears, he finds himself in the 8th position, up 12 places from where he started. He pitted on lap 57. He sits 2 spots ahead of Aiden Norman. If Tom Sears were to make it to the end, he would run, 48 laps on fuel, I think?
Yeah, I mean, that's doable. I wonder if we could get maybe a little in-car of that 18.
I want to hear he's pushing the clutch.
Yeah, let's see what those RPMs are doing.
The needle on the center of the dash. Have a listen. He's pushing that clutch in. Look at that, Ryan. That needle dips down all the way to 2. He's basically idling in the middle of the corner, trying to save as much fuel as possible.
Yeah, and I think he can do it, but he's just got to be careful, obviously, because Matthew Seeger's in 7th right now, right behind him. So, how much is he going to fall off, and is Seeger going to be able to get around him?
Rockford, Illinois, Matt Vorndren comes down into the pits. Aaron Edwards will stay out. Anybody that pits can obviously make it from here, but Edwards last pitted on lap 55. It's 84, assuming they can do 35-ish laps on 1 tank of fuel. You should expect him to come in within the next 5 laps. Jacob Renneker just went green, 30.43 seconds. Ryan, the Sharpie car goes quicker, but of course the track's getting colder. There's more rubber on the track, more speed. Elrich George still finds himself in 4th, by the way. Shout out to all the people of Nassau.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good run. I know he's trying to make it to the end on fuel as well. So I think him, Tom Sears, and Colin McDonough, all 3 kind of in the same boat, just trying to save as much as they possibly can to see if they can get to the finish here without pitting again.
With Elrich George, keep your eyes on the needle in the center. Now he's not pushing the clutch in. Let's have a listen with Colin McDonough. Colin McDonough also not pushing the clutch in. How about Tom Sears? And that's the difference. That's what it sounds like when you push the clutch pedal, not the accelerator, and you let the engine go all the way down to 2,000 revs. Which, crazy enough, Ryan, it works.
Oh yeah, it really does. I mean, when you're running these motors at 8,000 RPM and you hit the clutch in and kind of let it just coast at 2,000, I mean, I'm telling you, Tom Sears is saving really, really hard, but now Seegers and Aiden Norman got around him, so not going to be for the win.
Aiden Norman getting around the blue Power Ranger of Ethan Winters. Of course, that's the race leader, Ryan, so Aiden Norman has unlapped himself as Winters goes for broke. His purple teammate, if you will, the number 86 of Aaron Edwards, runs in the 8th position. And again, regardless of what happens, this is going to be a huge points day for Edwards. The season 9 champion, Noah Belleville, not in tonight's roster, and he's going to give up that race lead. He only had a 1-point lead coming into this race.
Yeah, a bummer, but it will really change the points. And we all know Noah Belleville. I mean, he'll come back out here and he could rattle off 2 or 3 wins in a row, just like Aiden Norman has done, and he'll be right back in there in the points battle. So definitely not over yet.
2-0 to go, and then it's going to be 1-9 at the line. Aiden Norman going for his 3rd consecutive Thursday Night Thunder win, and his name is starting to creep up those standings as well. He finds himself in 13th, only 3 markers behind Matt Vorndren, 16 points outside of the top 10 where Colin McDonough starts. Going into this race with an average start of 1st and an average finish of 5th. He keeps on bumping up the average. Aaron Edwards moves into 7th. He's only the 2nd Ford within that top 10. The other one, Elrich George, up 15 places from where he started. Fuel strategy or not, as Tom Sears just decides to come in now, Elrich George last pitted on lap 55. So did Tom Sears. Sears is in, and George stays out, Ryan.
Yeah, I think Tom Sears realized, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm losing way too much time. And unfortunately, I've done it before. You try and commit to saving fuel. You think you can make it. And then you look at all these drivers passing you. And you're like, it's not worth it. I just got to come down and get the fuel, get the tires, see what I can do to make it up. But yeah, Elric George, also Colin McDonough, obviously, and winners. They're going to have to pit because we saw Tom Sears saving, hitting that clutch, and he couldn't make it.
And the 62 of Aiden Norman just takes a scratch at the wall there.
Winters is on pit road.
Well, Withers is on pit road. I just heard someone blowing up back there. Is it
Sorry,
Ethan Win? No,
I
that's
said Winters. Yeah.
no, that's fine. You said Winters. I heard you wrong, but I'm also distracted by the sound of what sounded like someone blowing up. I'm not sure who that was as they came out of the corner there. Ryan Lindemann still with us? All right, never mind. We keep it pushing, I guess. Elrich George also decides to come in, so his fuel run, his fuel gamble is over. Colin McDonough pitted on lap 57. I don't know how much further Colin's going to make it either, but he currently leads this race. Shout out to all the folks in the New Jersey area. Shout out to Steph, because week after week she comes on and cheers on for Colin and makes sure that we talk about him at least a little bit. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, getting some good TV time, too.
I'll tell you what, I've never thought of doing a Nerf paint scheme, and that is pretty cool. Always goes back to the creativity, but that's... A Super Soaker paint scheme would have also gone really hard, like especially in the mid-90s on like a Ford Taurus.
100%.
And I gotta find out if they ever did it. Maybe they did. Who knows? I had no idea. We still never got an answer to that question. What other super cool all-black paint schemes are out there? We'll figure one out. I'll do a TikTok video about it, I guess.
I tell you what, I think Casey Kane had a Bud throwback type where he was in an all black with silver number 9. That was a pretty cool paint scheme.
Huh. I gotta see what paint scheme that is, because I can't think of that right now. As there's actual racing going on in front of us with 14 laps to go, by the way. Chuck Sweeting finds himself in 4th. Aaron Edwards is in 5th. They're a quarter of a second apart. Seth Wansing, Matt Vorndren, Briley Wright. This is 9th, 10th, and 11th. Let's catch a ride with Seth. 11 laps to go, Ryan Pennell. Aiden Norman has a 5.4-second lead over Aaron Edwards, who has, I think, just taken over Matt Seeger's second position, or Matt Seeger's maybe. I couldn't remember who passed who there. Aaron Edwards getting around Matt Seeger for second. Now we can check out the pass. Check this out. This is on lap 99. As simple as that, doing it the hard way on the outside. Edwards to second, Seeger to third. Chuck Sweeting now wants to get on the podium, Ryan. Check this out.
Yeah, and that's just because Seeger came down so much earlier than all these other drivers. Made up a lot of time on the front end, but now on the back end, really struggling. Tires are falling off, and everyone around him a little bit quicker. That's just the kind of the gamble that you take by coming down early.
Chuck Sweeting in that number 7. Matt Seeger just behind him and almost squeezing down on Colin McDonough. Seth Wanting in that number 1 doing some mirror driving, Ryan. This is from 8th.
Yeah, Seth's just trying to keep that top 10. I mean, he's right there in 8th, but one little slip up, he'll be right back there. Riley Wright and Matt Borndran right there on his back bumper.
Kevin Feemster's in the distance, by the way. Don't forget about him. He's in 11th right now, coming to 8 to go. Borndran is getting close, Ryan. Oh, he's right there on the outside. He can't make it look as easy as Aaron Edwards, though. Edwards made it look like butter, as Ethan Winters is now going to try and get around Matt Seeger and will. So the cyan-colored Unified Potential Chevrolet moves into 3rd, while the purple-colored Unified Potential Ford is in 2nd, and the maroon or crimson-colored Unified Potential number 16 runs in 4th. Not a bad day for the Power Rangers, running 2, 3, 4. It's just that Soju guy at the front. He's stealing the whole show. 5 seconds ahead of the rest.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we all know how fast Aiden is. But tonight, I mean, I think the strategy and just how he made up so much time on pit road really helped him.
Special mention Jimmy Kerr in the U.S. Army 75. He normally puts on a lot of different clothes for his races. He ran a Cheerios car one day. He loved that 75 Remington machine. I haven't seen this U.S. Army car. That one is pretty sweet. Seeger runs in 4th, just trying to hold on to the spot, but Chuck Sweeting says otherwise, Ryan.
Yeah, and again, Seeger's just really in a bad spot right now. I mean, he came down early, got those fresh tires, was able to make up some time, but really losing it now, so he's hoping this race finishes as fast as possible.
Matt Borndran was able to get around Seth Wanting for the 8th position, but Seth might just want it back. Let's get a ride. Wanting just looked inside there, Ryan. He couldn't quite get the look. Now he's going to get another shot in 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like he has a little bit more speed. It's just, it's hard to make the pass. It's hard to make it stick. And, you know, Matt Borndran, also a really good, consistent driver. Looks like he's kind of pulling away from Seth now.
Borndran in 8th, 0.4 of a second ahead of Seth Wanting, who sits in 9th. You see Riley Wright and Kevin Feemster in the distance now. It's a top 10 mission for Seth Wanting in the 1. Trying the Larson line. He gets into the wall. He loses momentum, Ryan. Here comes Wright in the 3.
Yeah, he's just pushing it too hard. You got to be careful here. I mean, only got 2 to go, so Keep that spot. Don't push it too hard to where you tear up that race car.
Riley Wright is up 9 places from where he started, by the way. If he can salvage the top 10, it will still have been a remarkable day, considering how many positions he's gotten up. Jason Alexander trying to get to the inside of Tommy Withers. This is 12th place on the line, and second might just have one more discussion, Ryan. 0.6 the difference between Ethan Winters and Aaron Edwards. Chuck Sweeting is in 4th now. Aiden Norman will come off of turn 4 to collect the white flag, and one more circuit for car 62. Ryan, to the interesting stuff, Riley Wright in 10th, Kevin Feemster in 11th.
Yeah, it's going to be a great battle to the finish for a top 10 spot. I mean, that matters to drivers. You get that top 10, it's important.
Shout out to Infraction Music, who also provides our intro music every single week. They do provide that awesome music for free, by the way, and it is available on Spotify. Check out Infraction Music. And one more time, shout out Drip Diecast. They keep us going every single week. Aiden Norman is your race winner. Riley Wright trying to hold on to 10th. Kevin Feemster to his inside. The 2 black cars will go side by side in turn number 3. They will drag race through turn number 4. Wright just gets the advantage. One more look for Feemster, and it's Riley Wright who holds on to 10th. Kevin Feemster in the 11th position. That was a great battle for the spot. And this guy right here, Aiden Norman, wins 3 races in a row. Ryan, if he wasn't back before, he's back now.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to blow that sim car to absolute pieces.
He deserves it. 3 in a row, that's hard to do in any series, much less TNT.
And he will continue to burn it down. We're going to get our top 3 in just a moment. Aiden Norman, your race winner at Chicagoland. Don't go anywhere. On the podium with our top 3 after another exciting TNT race, as expected, but a great run for a lot of drivers. Let's start with our bronze medalist, Aaron Edwards, in the number 15. Hey, Aaron, coming into this race, was the win on your mind, or did you kind of resign yourself to the fact that Aiden Norman might just be the guy who can't be beat?
I mean, this is not my best track, and by far not my best mile and a half. But being in a Delta Sport car, you can win anywhere, and that's the expectation. So we always come into all these races with a gotta win attitude, win at all costs attitude. But I thought realistically we were probably a 3rd or maybe a 4th place car. I honestly thought we were gonna sneak out 2nd there until Ethan caught me with about 3 to go. He kind of just came out of nowhere. I wasn't really paying attention, just trying to hit my marks, trying to get everything I could to run down Aiden, but then all of a sudden I got this blue car in my mirror. So it sucks to, come home 1 spot or 2 spots short, but 1 spot short of probably where we could have finished. But all in all, pretty good run.
You're going to go into next week's race at Watkins Glen with the points lead unofficially over Ethan Winters. 257 to 241 is going to be that gap. Congratulations on third. Ryan, you've got our silver medalist, Ethan Winters.
Yeah, Ethan, tell us about your race. I mean, looked like you had a lot of speed, especially on the long run. What could you have done different maybe to close in on that 62 car?
Yeah, I felt really good on the long run. The car felt good. It never really got dangerously tight. And then I think I stayed out too long on that second run. Just lost a lot of time there. The tires don't fall off as much as you think. So from that point on, I just figured I'd get a little creative. I went as long as I could on that last run and took 2 tires, and it actually made the car drive really well. I was just driving it off the right rear, felt like I was dirt tracking it, so it made it a lot more bearable. But yeah, I think if I just maybe don't go as long on that middle run, things could be different. But I'm just happy that I kind of just went off sequence and it worked out. But I appreciate Delta Sport, Unified Potential, Race Factory, Sudspeed, all the people that we race for, and I appreciate how much they help us. So thanks.
Absolutely. Well, good job on your second place finish. And Rick, I believe you have our race winner.
Aiden Norman, 3 races in a row. The last time somebody did this, they ended up winning a championship, 2 as a matter of fact. His name was Jacob Bradley. And the last time somebody did this, they ended up winning a championship. His name happened to be Noah Belleville. And I think many moons ago, the last time this happened was you, where you ended up winning season 7 to my memory. Congratulations on another dominating win. Not as many seconds as you would expect for the word dominating. It's only a 5-second win, but the race was never not in your control after the first pit stop. That was obvious. Next week, Watkins Glen, you are 10th in the points. You have now closed in to the lead by less than 80. You have an average start of an average start of first, an average finish of 4th, and better wins than the combined total of all winners this season. Why is this championship yours to lose?
That's a crazy question, Rick. I'm like 2 races out of it. I missed what race are we on now? I started at Daytona and then my brake pedal broke, so I didn't really get any points there. I am not winning this championship, but
Okay, realistically
I'll keep
speaking.
going for races.
Yeah, realistically speaking, man, you came out of nowhere. You came out of semi-retirement, and it's like you never left. 3 TNT wins in a row. We haven't said a word about Bandit GT3, by the way, tonight, Ryan. This is my fault. But you've also gone in the GT3 series, and I think you've won the last 2 or 3 races there as well. Everything you touch turns to gold. When does it end?
I don't know. I'm
Until
gonna
you
just
say
keep
so.
running.
Hey, until I say so.
I don't know about that. I
Well,
ain't got as much control as you think.
That's true. I mean that. However, it's been a blast, man. It's been a blast just watching you come through and just really put another level of competition on it. So let's wrap this up. Next week at Watkins Glen, we're gonna be there. You gonna see another win?
I mean, I'm gonna try, obviously, but I know Watkins Glen is about the most popular road course you can have for a stock car racing series, so it's gonna be a lot harder than some of these more obscure tracks like Gilles Villeneuve. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, I'm gonna go out there and try and win. I don't know how the dirty air is really gonna be on Watkins Glen because there's some really fast sections and it might be a problem to pass there, but if you qualify well, that's not a problem.
And we got Bandit GT3 coming up on Monday. We got that Lime Rock.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make that too. May as well.
You may as well. Exactly. All right, man. Congratulations on that win. We'll see you Monday night for Bandit GT3 at Lime Rock.
Thank you, Rick.
Ryan, that was short, sweet, to the point. Aiden Norman came, saw, and he left with another trophy. That's 3 in a row. It's flashbacks of season 6 and 7 all over again, man. What a driver.
Yeah, I mean, awesome race overall. typical TNT race, you know, low cautions and a lot of different strategies out there. So it was a blast to watch, and congrats to Aiden for 3 in a row, and see if he can do 4 in a row from Watkins Glen next week.
Before that, of course, we're going to get the GT3 cars Monday night at Lime Rock, and good that we're returning to normal service. We're having streams that aren't constantly interrupted by lagging anything, so we're all set, man. Thanks so much to everyone that came and had fun with us tonight. This sim racing thing is a real blast. We're going to keep on doing it until we can. Until that next race, everybody stay safe.